Good morning, everybody. Good to see all of you. Yeah, take a moment. There's no rush. Today, I thought it would be nice just to read to you, to all of us, the back of the book. Sometimes it's nice to do that because it brings us back into the context of what this work is all about. So, Embodiments of Love, Humanity in its fullness. An awakening among humanity has begun to fill the earth. Living embodiments of love. This awakening testifies to a new reality, the union of heaven and earth in human form. The human and divine are being reunited in love, which is the true essence of both. It is the manifestation of a new universal consciousness, which shall in time embrace everyone. Humankind is now beginning to emerge from a profound identity crisis. Because of our inherent creative power, we unwittingly created a world filled with want and fear. The new human consciousness shall manifest a paradise characterized by joy and love. As we embody greater love, we become the pioneers of this new earth. Our liberating consciousness is spreading quickly, bearing witness to the truth of the love that we really are. It's nice to read that again, actually.
Yeah, I was thinking that we can see this already in ourselves, yes. We can see how much we are living this new heaven on earth. And so it is, of course, something that we would like to see everywhere, but that is also under different kind of laws. But what I feel is powerful, we can see it with the people who are already walking in this new way. And that is, we know it's just a matter of time that the rest will follow. Yeah, very encouraging. Thank you.
Thank you. Frank, did you have a thought? Yeah,
You can see it
figured
percolating, can't
you
you?
could see it.
Oh, wow. I'm just having a moment of gratitude here. This is just where I'm at in my reading, but it's also where I'm at in my personal relationship with Jesus as he guides me through the 40 days and 40 nights. And my prayer that I've been saying quite often is, I just want to live this day, this moment in peace, with love and in joy, and to live that way in my daily life every day. So it's going to be fun as I get to the 5-star part of this hub. It says, quit trying to remove yourself from life. If this were required, it would be done. Think not that I cannot arrange the ideal environment for our dialogue. This is it. As your belief grows in our ability to accomplish together our given task, you are almost surely feeling this devotion extend to others, particularly those who, along with us, work towards its completion. You know who I'm talking about. In doing so, you're not creating special relationships, but the true devotion that will replace special relationships forever. And here's the 5-star. What you are going to realize from this time of seeming difficulty is an end to difficulty and the growth of your ability to do whatever you do peacefully and to be who you are in any situation in which you find yourself. There is no time to wait while you learn or think you learn. The qualities that will allow this, This is the point of movement, being, and expression coming together. The point of convergence, intersection, and pass through. This is it. Right here in your life as it is right now. And I'll just share my favorite image that I got some time ago listening to Glad. That intersection between heaven and earth and that point, and where I took it into the roundabouts of Sedona. And like I'm the roundabout, and those points that this is talking about, it's all manifesting through our life as it is right now and right here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for that reading. It's amazing how all these points converge. What this is, what you're reading. And I do love that image of the roundabouts in Sedona because, Ruben, I don't know if you know about the roundabouts in Sedona, but they're interesting because not everyone knows how to get around them or what to do in them. So there's a lot of opportunities for extending love in those roundabouts. That's perfect. Thank you. Then you are this. Oh, the sculpture. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dominique, love.
Thank you. It's beautiful this morning to be embracing the safety again of being home. I realize how much I love being who I am because I'm becoming just like my tomato that I'm growing for the first time in my life. It took a long time. It took a long time for the first tomato to show up and then go from the green to the yellow to the red, and then to be ready and to say, okay, I'm done, I'm falling because I know I'm serving you. Everything show me the perfection of the divine. And I love the fact that I see myself more and more and more living what we have embraced, we have fed, we have grown, and we are ripe. And I saw myself yesterday with all the process of the fire was crazy from my home. It was crazy, helicopter all day for days, but yesterday was really crazy. And it's no big deal. I'm just I'm just so blessed to be able to have a suitcase and to pack my treasure and see that I'm taking my treasure with me, and and the rest, it's bless everything. And what is the most important is, like Frank is always telling us, and it's a peace, and no fear and no judgment, and putting myself clear of anything who can disturb my peace. And life become an amazing rainbow of tomato and butterfly, hummingbird, and the joy of your face and your presence, all of you. There is nothing who can replace this. So my mom is still breathing, and she's still smiling, and she's still there. And I know she treasures the fact that I am at peace with all. And this happened because the soul had a contract in this lifetime. And it's not an accident. And thank you again and again for bringing my heart so much the deep joy of living in the presence with you and as one. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominique. Ripe, juicy, sweet. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. We are becoming these embodiments of love, and I was thinking when Hub was saying we would like the whole world to be like that, but it is actually happening in its own way. Like we're linking. It's like we're linking with others who are expressing that in their own way, in their own beauty, and then there's more, and it's just amplifying and amplifying, and we're seeing more and more evidence of it happening all around us. So we know it's happening. So let's go to this beautiful new chapter that we're beginning. It's chapter number 20. We are on page 110, and the chapter is called In the Law of the Heart, and it's section 1, Promoters of Peace. Promoters of Peace. And Ruben, would you like to start us off in the chapter?
Yes. Promoters of peace. Beloved of truth, here we are united in love again. My heart overflows with joy for these dialogues, not only for the joy that they keep in themselves, but also the joy that comes from knowing the many millions of beings who receive these words from heaven. Many will receive through their physical senses, others more in spirit and truth. We are consciousness expressing itself in the wisdom of love. We are pure potentiality manifesting everyone benefits. This is not a single aspect of creation that is not enveloped in the grace that emanates from these holy dialogues. United, we are the totality, the everything of everything. Perhaps you have already noticed that in this work, there is particular emphasis not only on relationship, but also on inner peace. Why? Because embodiments of love, men and women of the human plane, or otherwise a primary function to live as expressions of the divine love they are. They have come to the world to promote peace on earth. Love appears where harmony resides. Without harmony, there can be no wisdom, since it is impossible for illusion to coexist with truth. They are antagonistic dimensions. One requires living in fantasies, the other in reality, which is why none of them realize their opposite, nor can they exist in unity. Knowing now that everything in the world is in itself neutral, and that it is the thinking mind that gives meaning to everything. You are aware that everything that your interpretations will demonstrate have no absolute meaning. They are relative. We use this expression here not to point to the well-known ideology of the relativity of things, but because it is of great importance that you understand this matter from a new perspective. Everything exists in relation to its source. Everything is connected to and belongs to its source. It is this aspect of belonging that is easily forgotten when considering the relativity of the world and its phenomena. Often what is said to be accidental or phenomenological is thought of as limited, partial, and restricted.
Let's
I
pause
guess.
there.
Yeah.
It goes into another idea. Yes, phenomenological. It's an interesting word. It's beautiful. Thank you. And it goes more deeply into this idea, but actually there's a lot in those few paragraphs just by themselves before we go into the idea. So we're not rushing here, so let's hear it one more time so it can really sink more deeply, and then we can pause. So Hub, would you read this for us one more time?
Promoters of peace, beloveds of truth, here we are, reunited in love again. My heart overflows with joy for these dialogues, not only for the joy that they give in themselves, but also the joy that comes from knowing the many millions of beings who receive these words from heaven. Many will receive to their physical senses, others more in spirit and truth. We are consciousness expressing itself in the wisdom of love. We are pure potentiality manifesting. Everyone benefits. There is not a single aspect of creation that is not enveloped in the grace that emanates from these holy dialogues. United, we are the totality, the everything of everything. Perhaps you have already noticed that in this work there is a particular emphasis not only on relationship, but also on inner peace. Why? Because in embodiments of love, men and women of the human plane, or otherwise a primary function to live as expression of the divine love they are. They have come to the world to promote peace on earth. Love appears where harmony resides. Without harmony, there can be no wisdom, since it is impossible for illusion to coexist with truth. They are antagonistic dimensions. One requires living in fantasies, the other in reality, which is why none of them realize their opposite, nor can they exist in unity. Knowing now that everything in the world is in itself neutral, and that it is the thinking mind that gives meaning to everything, you are aware that everything that your interpretations would demonstrate have no absolute meaning. They are relative. We use this expression here not to point to the well-known ideology of the relativity of things, but because it is of great importance that you understand this matter from a new perspective. Everything exists in relation to its source. Everything is connected to and belongs to its source. It is this aspect of belonging that is easily forgotten when considering the relativity of the world and its phenomena. Often what is said to be accidental or phenomenological is thought of as limited, partial, and restricted.
There's a lot in there. There are a few different thoughts. Let's pause there. We have to just absorb it for a moment. I really, it's just this reminder. I'm going back all the way back to the first paragraph. We are consciousness expressing itself in the wisdom of love. We are pure potentiality manifesting. Everyone benefits. It's such an expansive perspective. It takes us out of the thinking mind that's trying to bring relativity to everything. The thinking mind wants to bring relativity, and yet we can, and which is useful to a point, but we can step beyond the point of relativity into the pure understanding that we're pure potentiality manifesting. That there is no need to put things necessarily into perspective. It's a line that's off. Let's put this into perspective. Maybe there's no need to put anything into perspective. Maybe there's no need to make anything relative if we can truly step into this pure understanding that we are wisdom expressing ourselves, love expressing as wisdom in any situation. Frank, did you have a thought?
Yeah, I was just waiting to see if somebody else put up a hand first. These embodiments of love that we're looking at right here, we're so fortunate to have discovered and continue to discover. Our purpose is to bring peace to the earth. And the way we do that, now this is just my opinion, the way we do that is when we can step back from the old pattern. There's a we that has that choice now. And we can bring it in and honor the experience, all of that, share all of that with our guidance, and allow it to express itself naturally into the world. You know, I don't think necessarily anybody is going to fit anybody on this particular group right at the moment, but maybe somebody will watch later on a recording and see this. It's important to me to be honest, and sometimes to the point where I have to battle the idea that it can be a little embarrassing or something. But I think people grow by being honest. And my way of getting through the world that was developed at a young age and carried into adult life was this idea of living in fantasies. Boy, any kind of separation event, far back as I can remember, man, I could be looking somebody right in the eye and be on another planet. But it prevented me from living this moment. It saved me in those days. So, but it became so ingrained that I carried it. And to this day, I have to have my moments of escaping into it. Fantasy can be useful if we allow it to be, and it's conscious. I'm kind of moving towards the idea that our ability to actually create, that it's more about envisioning. So just one world example this morning. I think this is the fourth attempt. There's a young family that was this started out just this young girl and two kids. First time I saw them sitting on this farm bench place and selling homemade bread. And I really gave it enough of a try that it is a little too much, and I do have some gluten insensitivity, so I can handle some, but not as much as I was doing with her stuff. What I got to witness was a farm culture represented in a family, two kids, her and her husband. There's a genuineness about that population. I think maybe driven by, boy, they are forced to live one moment at a time, 24/7 in order to make a ranch or farm run. And that probably goes back a few years now, but I think that was really true then. I don't know, there was something that bonded me to them. So I haven't been for quite some time, and I didn't realize until I actually pulled into the empty lot and could get up close to read the sign that she shifted to Wednesdays. And I had told her about my friend is going to South Dakota for probably his 12th Sundance ceremony. He's been honored numerous times and away from the Lakota Sioux. That's pretty phenomenal. And there's a famous flower that comes out of Cortez called bluebird. My mom absolutely swore by it. Believe me, she had the best homemade rolls on the planet. Somehow or another, the Native Americans out on this reservation have come to see that as kind of a ultimate expression of their cooking. That flour just is the best they've run across. So my friend is taking around 400 pounds of it to the res here in a few weeks. And I bought 2 5-pound sacks when I was in Cortez. One with the idea, I told the story to the young lady about this flour, and I just, boy, nothing in return. She doesn't even need to know my name, but I wanted to hand her a sack of that flour and remind her of the story and just see if maybe there's a creation that comes out of that. I mean, that's a funny way of expressing or allowing love to express through me, but it's given me a kick anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Beautiful extension. Ruben.
Yeah, the same lines that you were reading, Iona. We are consciousness expressing itself in the wisdom of love. We are pure potentiality manifesting. And in the next paragraph, perhaps you have already noticed that in this work there is particular emphasis not only in relationship but also on inner peace. Let's say because embodiments of love, men and women of the human plane or otherwise, a primary function to live as expressions of the divine love they are. They have come to the world to promote peace on earth. In the last paragraph, everything exists in relation to its source. Everything is connected to and belongs to its source. And I mean, it really, what Dominic shared about tomatoes, seeing the tomatoes being born, growing up, the change of colors, and when they're ready. It sounds beautiful, magical for me, but I put myself in the place of the tomato, and now I'm like, oh, this guy, as soon as I'm turned red and delicious, is going to eat me. They're going to eat me. They're going to say, oh no, this is the end. I need to do something. Because if I don't do something, this guy is going to eat me. I was like, and you say it too, Iona, the best thing is not to label anything. But I'm already in this story of the tomatoes. Because I had the same feeling when I discovered all this stuff that, well, my daughter, Ruben, your daughter is not too different than tomatoes. You're going to see her change colors, being an adult, and she's going to be eaten by somebody else. Same thing with you, Ruben. Your body one of these days is going to be eaten. Maggots, worm, whatever. But that is, and still, a beautiful representation of love. Of course, I'm speaking from the place of the tomato. But I am not a tomato. I am the essence of the tomato. I am here to serve humanity. There is no death. There is no death. I'm here to serve the source, the one that's putting water in me, the one that see me changing colors. He knows when I'm ready to be transformed into something else. I know that my life here has a purpose as a tomato. And in my short life, I already give a lot to this lady, to this man. And I'm here in Woodbury. We're in the same plane. I can say we're in the same page. Tomatoes are coming. And after the 4th of July, every weekend we had fresh tomato, and it's so different. We eat tomatoes every day here after July 4th till I'm like, and it is a difference. It is a difference, but when I extend that, of course, and I extend it to my daughters, you're going to be eaten. Somebody else is going to get you. But it is from the physical point of view. But now that I know that truth, I try to stay away from that and share only love, love, love. Because, I mean, it is an innocent example, but it is true. It is part of transformation. One time I was a little baby. Now I'm an adult. And we're here only to be in the service of love. I don't have to think about it because everything is already imbued in me, I can say. I listen to the source, not to the other ones. The tomatoes, the jalapenos, the watermelon. No, don't listen to them because that's fearful. Listen to the essence. Listen to the essence. And that is everything. There is no separation between the essence and you. You are the essence of everything. Of everything. I'm like, well, thank you. I'm complete. But I went from fear to love. But it is true. That's my journey. The tomato journey is my own journey. Yes. Jesus' journey is my own journey. Love. Love journey. I'm like, stay in the truth, Ruben, because you see, the truth is without conflict, it's peace. It's just love. It's just love. I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you for that journey. Right? It's like we listen to source and we serve life. We serve love. That's the cycle. It's listening to source, serving life. The tomato receives from source and serves life. And the essence lives on. And it's only our thinking mind or our egoic mind, let's say, or whatever, the fearful mind that attaches to an idea that we need to control any of that flow. And then when we let go of that and we trust, and that's the thing, the trust that everything will be carried when we're in that cycle. Listen, serve, listen, serve. With love, as embodiments of love. The embodiments of love that we are, there is really nothing else to do. And we're beginning to witness in ourselves, I feel, and more in what's going on around us, that law remember the chapter is called In the Law of the Heart. So we are now following not man-made law, we're following the law of the heart. We're following God's law, Source's law. It's a new law. We're putting ourselves into those laws intentionally, into the law of the heart, and it changes everything on the outside too, gradually or quickly, actually, in this quantum time that we're living in. The law of the heart. Let's read a little bit more here. Dominique, would you like to read from us? For us, we're in the however, your being.
Thank you. The tomato in me is drooling of the tear of glass. Okay, thank you, Yana. However, your being and your identity is not relative in the sense of limitation and lack of absolute truth. Your being belongs to love. If your source and union is with the absolute of all absolute, how would it be possible for you not to be absolute also? Unity of your divine reality and your humanity is inseparable. There are no attributes or aspects of your origin that are not in you. What the cause is, extend to its effect. The sun rays extend the same energy as a solar core from which it shines. You can easily understand that there cannot be an infinite consciousness. The absolute source of all creation, and also a relative creation that is subject to indeterminacy, vagueness, or indefiniteness, if both are united. The concept of relativity that have been developed through the age of reason and applied to certain physical knowledge now serve us to go beyond their postulate towards the truth that we seek to remember in this dialogue. It has been said in many areas of human thought that physical laws are transformed when the reference is modified. This was called relativity. Naturally, this is true when things are observed from a state of dual consciousness or separation. For in such a state, the mind cannot conceive of the absolute, nor understand totality. Obviously, if what the separated mind does is separate, then its way of knowing reality will be to fragment things, giving each part its own meaning according to his desire. This cannot lead to absolute knowledge of reality. Interpretation is not part of wisdom because truth does not interpret. It simply is, as is the love which it is forever one. Believing that all things are relative may lead you to believe that you are too in turn, leading to a system of thought that increase conflict, since it ultimately causes you to see life as existential chaos. But, holy brother and sister, your being belongs to perfect love. Whoa. I must say that in this reading, I got lost, but what I got is the truth that nothing has to, that's the love is so real because it doesn't get lost into all the mind and the difficulty. It's pure, it's simple, it's authentic, it's real. And that's where I have been in love with Sebastian from the first day that John introduced it to us 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So it's like the sun rays of the purest awakening, because it's about being real, being authentic. And I have treasured this book more than anything, Embodiment of Love. Oh my God. Thank you, Iona.
Thank you. Yeah, there is a lot in here. And I'm actually going to pause here and we can pick this up again next week because I want to go save some time for a meditation that I wanted to do with you today, all of you today. But what I love about Sebastian, all these downloads and what he's receiving, is that it goes from the sublime to the practical, right? So he's able to bridge this, being able to take this most sublime understandings and then bring it back to this world and help us to dissect what's really going on. And then he brings us back into this. So it's like this advanced teaching in a sense of us understanding these concepts in the context of oneness. And it's done with such elegance. It's actually quite miraculous to be able to immerse ourselves in these words, even if we understand them or not when we first read them, and then come back to them and go deeper. And the nice thing is we don't need to understand every sentence for us to get it, because we get it. Something always gets it, without any need for us to understand from an intellectual perspective, which is because the heart knows the truth every time. So I'm going to pause there. I'm going to close the book. We can close the book now. But I wanted for our meditation today going back to this, when we first read that we as embodiments of love, all of us, have come to the world to promote peace on earth. It's not a small thing. Come to the world. We have come to the world. We have come to this world to promote, to not just extend, but to promote. See, every word is important here. Peace on earth. So I thought for our meditation, these last few minutes today, for us to just gently go in and feel into what that might look like. And to begin with, see how do we see peace on earth showing up in different situations and circumstances. And I'm going to suggest a few, but then just we will be silent for you yourselves to conjure up what these images might look like and how that might actually feel, and extending that feeling out into the world, out onto this earth. So just gently bringing ourselves into this moment, letting go of all of the words from the book today, and just feeling ourselves in our bodies, in our embodiments of the love that we are. And just feeling into our hearts what peace on earth might look like and might feel like. Perhaps it looks like two seemingly opposing armies suddenly laying down their guns and weapons and smiling at each other and hugging each other in love. Perhaps it's a family arguing over dinner and then suddenly just laughing and realizing how silly it all is and how much they love each other. Perhaps it's in a corporate boardroom where they're figuring out how to dispose of waste, and suddenly they all realize that the ocean is not the answer and there's another way. Just each of you for yourself, bringing into your minds and your hearts what that peace on earth might start to look like, and feeling that in your bodies and allowing that to extend out into the world. Thank you, everyone, for being promoters of peace on earth. Thank you.
This is my
See you guys.
favorite family gathering.
See you guys.
Okay,
Thank you all.
thank you.